It is the biggest win in tenant unionism in, at the very least, Victoria, in decades. If you haven't been living under a rock in Melbourne for the past few years, you will know that the Victorian government is well underway in the biggest attack on public housing pretty much ever in the state's history, and that's signified by the announced demolition of the 44 flats in the inner city. The Inkerman St Resident Committee the other week has just won, within the first few weeks of forming, has won its first win against Homes Victoria. Like, I can't overstate how amazing that is. To most people, you know, small wins like this, and we'll get into what the actual win was, small wins like this, you know, whatever, they don't mean much. But the point of a win like this isn't necessarily just the win itself, and the win is good, but it's what the win builds them towards. It's not just a, you know, piece of reform that they won in Parliament. It's not like a bit of charity or whatever. The win itself builds up the capacity and self-organization of the resident committee at Inkerman St, and will allow them to win things in the future. So what do? Well, it was a very simple ask. It was 24/7 security in their block. They've had, you know, issues around security, around safety, that kind of thing. If you're familiar at all with public housing towers and public housing in Australia, and particularly in Melbourne, the state of public housing in this city it's like trying to cram together a bunch of different groups of people who all need very, very different things. And, you know, whether it be single mothers or people who, you know, were criminals or drug addicts or whatever, right? And you're cramming them into these underfunded, under-resourced buildings. Like, you're going to get social dysfunction. You're going to get bad outcomes. You're going to get crime. You're going to get that kind of thing. And one step towards addressing such is 24/7 security. Now, anyone will tell you that it's not going to, like, you know, solve the entire problem of social dysfunction or whatever, right? But it is a demand that tenants have had, and they have put forward to Homes Victoria. The Residents Committee said to Homes Vic, if you don't answer our demands in, you know, 7 days or whatever it was, we will escalate further. Now, look, you can call it what you want. That's tenant unionism. That is saying to the government, we have a group of renters here who are uniting together in union and bargaining with the state, saying, if you don't do this, we will exercise our leverage as renters, the ones who pay rent to you. We will exercise that leverage and escalate further. That's tenant unionism. So while previously Homes Vic have said that they can't afford 24/7 security, that, you know, it's too expensive, it's whatever, this excuse, that excuse. When the tenants got together, when they, you know, through their committee said, we want this and we want it at this time, Homes Vic caved. Like, they won. The tenants committee won.